I was there at the beginning and I saw the end. It's done. The game has been won. Uh, the big game, big money, and this is one of the biggest opportunities in history for regular people. But if you get caught up in this, the politics of lies in this entrepreneur game around social media influencers, venture capitalists, and private equity, you're likely to fail. The chances are absolutely remote because they won, and that's when it gets fun, because what's next can arrive. When the top 1% win, what about the rest of us, the bottom 99%? I watched this happen where the bottom 99% won against the top 1% years ago as Google came into the marketplace, and Facebook, and all these other systems. So all of a sudden now, um, somebody from Idaho, Russell Brunson, could make a potato gun. Nobody wants one. Um, it's just a novelty, and sell it on Google, and it worked. It didn't cost them anything really, and the late night TV people took over the marketing industry for regular folks. Big deal. The brands were terrified. What's a brand? It's a real company with a real product. They have to sell those products in the market through retail channels, directly online. They got to sell it. Cars, insurance, um, consumer products goods, consumer packaged goods, it's called. And then there's this massive market of small and medium sized business that need leads, and they need to have some visibility. They're not going to do the big media game, but they need some visibility. And those systems provided that entry in. It democratized media and marketing for years. And anybody could figure it out. You could go get HubSpot, you could do content, the age of content, and some fortunes were made in this, particularly in Hollywood, where you had influencers. The small money, the online marketing crowd, the Russell Brunsons, now Alex Hermosi, it's small money. But it's real money. That's the point. And we're going to talk about what's next and how to get out of this politics of lies now. And the biggest entrepreneur lie of all, which we're going to talk about. And if you don't understand this, you're going to lose. If you don't get free of this, you are playing a professional game with professionals. And I saw it today. And I knew this was happening for the last couple of years, but today it just really cemented it. If you're not familiar with how the marketing and media industry works, the media companies, they're buying companies. So what they're looking for is, they call it eyeballs, which, screw you, but whatever. So they need to sell their product. And the media companies, they don't think that hard. What they're focusing on is making the marketing strategy players in the industry happy. They got to deliver. And they're measured like never before. They've got to deliver, or the brand will move agencies or move marketing agency quick, or the brand is doing some of this themselves. Now, small players are dinking around the edges with this kind of stuff. But I'll talk about the small players and the how to improve yourself industry. That's the small time stuff, but they're making money, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, even up to 100 million, but that's rare. I don't even know if those numbers are real, to be honest. They don't seem real to me. They sound like revenue numbers, not net worth numbers or profit numbers, but I don't know. I don't even care. It doesn't matter. It's small money. The big money is in the brand, what's called impressions. State Farm, they just want you to see the logo, remember it. And they have campaigns, and they're just pumping this stuff out like crazy. State Farm's one example. You got Nikes, you've got the auto manufacturers. That's where the real money is in this industry. But you also have the lead generation folks. That's big money too. These national dental chains with bad dentists, these big educational institutions with, overpriced and not great education. It's called for-profit education. They need this or they're going to fail. So it's a pro game, and they won. That's where the opportunity is. That's what's exciting about this today. Um, And we're doing something about this. I've been working on this for at least 5 years. What's the alternative for the 99%? And same with e-commerce. If you look at Amazon, Etsy, was started with, um, eBay, and that failed, and then moved on to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and now it's kind of baked. Big retail is baked into Amazon. They're very vulnerable because they don't understand retail. Now, vulnerable means you go from 100 million in revenue down to 90 million in revenue. Or 90 billion, 100 billion. And I don't know what the numbers are. I don't care at all. Um, Facebook, Google, they're playing a big game. They're being watched by industry analysts. The big money is already in there. How do I know? How do I know this is really over for regular people like us? We're going to lose. You're going to lose. Who's going to win? The people selling you the how to do it programs. They're going to win. Not big, but they'll have enough money to buy, speedboats and Ferraris if they want, or just second houses. At the top 1%, the layer below them, I think they'll have unstable income. Same with the influencers. They'll have unstable income because they're trending fast fashion. They're trending these people in and out. They're going to churn and burn them. The big brands and their agencies and the media companies. The big brands dictate it. It's up to them. And the consulting firms support them. They sell all kinds of ideas, signature methods to the brands. What's a brand? It's just a big corporation that's focused on see me, see me, see me, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. That's their job. Where's all that money going? It used to go to the TV networks. It still does. So I don't think this is like over. It's just Google and Facebook for years at the beginning were dinking around the edges with the smaller business, lead generation business. And it's real money, those little ads on Google and all that. And they have different business models and ad units to monetize it. It's called monetizing the business. That's their business model. Well, it's changed. It got bigger because of YouTube in particular, but Facebook really did it first in a way. Now, I'm not going to get into all these innumerable details. It doesn't make any difference because I'm saying this all to make a point to help you understand what's coming next for you and what you can do and how we're going to facilitate this. This is a big vision and it's going to happen. I did not put my life on the line when I saw this coming a few years ago just to fail at the end. It's not going to happen. We're going to succeed. It's not just me. It's a whole team and it's going to get bigger fast now. Why? Because we need it. Bottom 99% globally is going to fail in these ecosystems. I would go as far as talking about any technology, big tech platform right now. Etsy, same thing. Amazon Marketplace, same thing. Upwork, same thing. Who has the power in that game? Those platforms do. Who has the power in the big media game? Google, YouTube, but not totally. It's the brands. They're in bed together. That was the big shift. Google had to decide, what are we going to be? And they decided to be a media company platform. And it was a smart decision for them. For us, not so much. It's done. So what did I see? YouTube upfronts. So if you're not familiar with how this works, the way it's a big dog, and it's called the dog and pony show, basically. So this has been going on for years since this media era emerged with the networks, 3 networks, and then it's cable, and then it's on and on and on. It's the same thing. You have to convince the media planners and the media buyers who represent the brands and work inside or separate from, integrated with the marketing strategy and planning people. They have to know, I'm buying that show, I'm buying time, and they have to pay up front. That's the upfronts. Big show, big dog and pony. Like I saw it on LinkedIn. It's incredible. I saw the people running this from YouTube, basically teasing the upfront event that they're running. And I thought, big time money. And what they're doing is they're bringing all their influencers on stage in the same way that the networks used to bring their celebrities. Here's the new show. It's going to be big. And they're pitching it from the stage. They're doing the same thing with the influencers. What's going to happen? People are going to start realizing I can't win that game. The influencers are going to lose. The influencers are going to get churned. Fast fashion trends, fads, like the networks would churn shows. They'll cancel it in a year if they're not making money, or 2 years. It's got faster. Now the AI is telling them to cancel it. They can't make a mistake. There's too much money involved. And they don't care. They only care about it selling. Who's going to win? They are. Are the top influencers in the world going to win? They're going to get a lot of cash, but somebody could decide in one of those rooms in New York and tell the media company, not anymore. We're out. They'll dump you overnight. You're not going to dump a Michael Jordan overnight, or a big Mr. Beast. They're going to milk that as far as they can. They're going to milk as much money out of Beast as they can, and they're going to give him a big piece of it to keep him going. But he does not have the power in the room. The brands do. They're the buyers. They're writing the check, and YouTube is now on the stage with the big players. So they're up with Warner Brothers and the big networks, and because they are the biggest. YouTube is the media platform. You're not going to win on that. And if you do, they can cancel you. You're just not going to win. What's going to happen? They're going to stop. Regular people are going to stop. That's why we're building an alternative. This is what Google did back in the day. And I think there'll be lots of alternatives. I'm not expecting I'm going to be the next Google or the next Amazon, or the next big lead generation platform. I expect there's going to be a lot of them. It's going to democratize because we're getting smart. Not just me. We're getting smart. We know how this works. And I mean we. I got a whole team. We're in it together. We're going to succeed together. You're going to succeed with us. And the price of entry is trying it. That's it. The price of success is quality. And that's what the market wants. So what's going on is the market's splitting like this. The top 1% are going up. They're taking the influencers that they want with them, and they're going to drop the ones they don't like for political reasons. Google changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Why? Because they're a big corporation. That's why. They don't even care. It's not the politics. They don't care at all. It's because that's where the wind blew. Same with big law firms. Same thing. They don't care. Their clients will abandon them overnight if they're afraid, and they're afraid. It's just happened to a big law firm. No one thinks this stuff can happen, but change always happens. And then everyone looks at the black swan, which is a term about the obvious thing in hindsight. And when you see these black swans a couple of years early, you are a crank or a kook, or somebody who irritates everyone because you're saying what's obvious, and people want to believe the thing that's happening because they're trying to succeed in it. It makes sense. Desperation and fear lead to blindness for a while, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And we're into what's next already. It's already happened. And that's how you succeed. And it's happened in your market too. There's a big cohort of people. It's got to be at least 30% by now that are looking at this and saying, this isn't working for me. I got a company and I can't get in the front page of Google. I'm tired of trying. And there's a whole cohort of people overseas who know how to do that, but can't do it. But they can do other things for you. And we're going to facilitate that and build that system. We're very far along in the thinking, and also pilots in that. Same with content. Nobody wants to become a big media company and a content creation engine. It's too complicated now. It was an amateur game for the last 5 years. Now it's a pro game. Every single one of these platforms is different, and they're all complex, and they're all being dominated by big money now. That's finished. It's about impressions and lead generation and conversions. There's two parts to the market. There's direct response. I want a conversion. I want people to go buy this thing. That's how it's measured. And they have ad units for that. And then there's impressions, which is I want to be seen. That's the big money, and has been. It still is. That's where Facebook went. And those companies are going to keep spending that money, but it's not my business or yours. Who cares? Everybody's talking about this stuff online. And who's talking about it the most? the how to improve yourself people. Who is winning in this? In small time with small time people. It's the I'm going to sell you how to do it. And they're going to get crushed soon because people are going to realize, oh, it doesn't work. Why is this going to fail? Because it doesn't work. You're not going to get on the front. It's not going to happen for you. You're not going to become, it's not a career. Becoming an influencer on YouTube is not a career. If you can become a successful influencer on YouTube, you already have a product or you're part of an agency system or somebody found you and discovered you. It's a professional entertainment industry product now. Justin Bieber, discovered on YouTube. Now it's some kid who likes lipstick and has 100,000 followers. It's called long tail advertising. And these people know how to do this. They've been working on it for years. I've created a new Google AdWords approach for regular people. And it's based on a concept called concept pages. And we've got a guy in Kenya that knows how to do this with me. We haven't completely baked it. It's a pilot, but that's like coming soon. The stuff that's already finished is basically the video metaverse campus. Hang out with people that know what they're doing. You get a whole group of people that are going to help you figure this stuff out your way. And then you can use these media systems to support your strategy for your business. You got to get visible. I'm not saying you can't use these systems. I'm just saying don't use them like they are. And God forbid, don't buy a how to do it program. It'll never work. You know, how to succeed on YouTube, how to succeed on Instagram, how to succeed on Facebook, how to succeed on school, how to succeed. It's not going to work. You can be seen and you're going to be gamed by them to rise up in the hierarchy. It's not going to happen for you. Didn't happen for me. I've been in the industry forever. I couldn't do it. It would have been 20 grand a month. I could have done it for 20 grand a month. Somebody would have media trained me. We would have refined the message. It's like, look over here. The heat map is like, okay, sit here. I've been in the rooms with this stuff. It's very difficult. So I do not want to speak anymore to people who don't already see this. That's called problem unaware. Doesn't make sense. And I am not trying to become a media company and get my stuff seen broadly. We have a strategy to do this with a whole bunch of people, and everyone's going to play their own role and do it their own way. That's what's next. And it's possible for you. You can become a part of that because all we're doing is we're building the kernel, the core on solid foundation. Solid foundation. And when you build something on a solid foundation, it lasts for a long time. It's not a trend or a fad. And this is what we've done. And we will let you into it because this is what we want to do. For me, it's a life purpose. And I don't have anybody in this group that doesn't feel this way, but not about me, about themselves. They're here for every single person, the 12 core founding members, a co-founder, Brian Muka, the 12 ambassadors that are going to be signing up. We've already got a couple, and the 12 founding partners, and then everybody else who's going to kind of grow outside of that using what we've got. The power of this circular expansion is it's hard to describe. And it's not about beating them. It's about winning for us, thriving and making the impact. And at some point, we'll see. Bolting onto other people who are doing the same is what makes it huge. Not me being huge, all of us. And I know a ton of people are doing what I'm doing. And some of them are still stuck in the, marketing thinking of old of, how do I become the blah, blah, blah on stage and stand next to the famous people. And by association with that famous person, I will sell more stuff. That's a program now too. Some of it's pay to play. I don't know how much Grant Cardone or Tony Robbins charges to stand next to him on a stage, but you gotta work your way up. It's going to take a while. It's how Russell Brunson did it. And I think it's getting harder, and you're gonna see you notice how it's the same faces over and over again? That's what happens. There's a separation. Top 1% starts to separate. It's called logarithmic acceleration. I've talked to math people about this. This is business. These are business laws and principles around math. They teach this stuff in business schools. I think I made it through 3 classes, and then I realized I can't do it. I can't do the math. So they fired me. No, I didn't get in. I did classes at large, but I learned about trends because I did it for 15 years in the product business. And then 7, 8, 9, 10 years, 10, 12 years in uh, um, professional like branding and marketing and communications industry, and then years in lead generation online, as well as telemarketing, cold call, like all of it. I don't think there's a niche I haven't covered. AI, software, all the Google stuff. I went to all those meetings for years. The big media companies. I met with some of the top media people in the world, presidents of the divisions, selling them AI recommendation engines. That was when it was fun. That was before it baked. What do I mean by baked? I mean, it's pro game. It's a program. I couldn't do that today. I wouldn't try. Now it's a professional career. It wasn't then. You just showed up. That's what I did. I showed up. I went to networking events and I'm like, hey, I want to do this. You up for it? And his answer was, yeah. You going to work at it? Yeah, of course. Where are we going now? This is where we're going. Own your own product. Have a connect method to get into the market you love. We have a whole team that helps on the product side. We also have a team that helps on the connect side, whether it's networking or media or marketing or doing shows like I'm doing, or putting websites together, putting brand together, all those things. Business traction is important. That's the connect stuff, product stuff, connect stuff, getting that right. We also have the inner development part. How to work through your mindset blocks, how to work through your energy blocks, how to work through your fear as you're doing this. And then I do a lot of stuff around market authority, but so do other people in our group around content strategies, writing, broadcast recording, and local connecting. In the old days, you just call somebody up and say, you know, a good plumber, and the answer was, of course, and everybody knew. Now it's that's even hard because it's like your friend Joe wasn't as good as I thought, but worse. Um, oh, that company was bought by a private equity firm and they're terrible now. All the good plumbers left. It didn't say that online. All the pictures are of the old plumbers that don't work there anymore. Take that and put that in any industry. That's what's going on. Dentist, everything. Professional game because the marketing wins. But it does it? Does it? Can you compete against that? Of course you can. But it needs to be simple. And that's our goal is turnkey and curation and simple processes. So you do not have to be a professional. We are the professionals at the infrastructure of what's next, Entrepreneur 3.0. And I call it flexible founder mode. And it's how do you do this without taking big money? And you can because everything's cheap. Years ago, when I was trying to do revenue generation and bring lead generation and content and demand generation together, it was expensive still. Not that expensive, but it was very difficult. It almost killed me, frankly. But I use virtual workforces and networks and a lot of Upwork. I looked at it. I have over like almost 400 contracts in Upwork over a few years. And I'm like, I'm not using this anymore. I'm done. People were fine, but it was hard to find them. And it's just the system was a nightmare. And they're paying, I'm not paying them, but they're taking a huge part of you get it. You get it. Plus, there's the cultural stuff, which I got good at. We kind of figured out how to work that and pay people on retainer as opposed to just, so we're going to structure some protocols around how to do that and partnering with a high level agency. We're partnering with a big networking company. We're partnering with these are the founding partners with incredible guy who He can get you comfortable on camera, and then if you want some pro level video programming, he can do that. We're partnering in a local guy who has a Fox show in this area. He doesn't have a show; he's a production company, and he can put this stuff up. Local film crews. This is all in reach of regular people now, but it's got to be professionally organized. You don't have time to figure this out. Your job is to do your thing. Same with me. And I don't have to organize and coordinate anymore. And I've always done it down to the very end. And it's a sloppy mess. But I'm like, I wrote it on an organizational chart yesterday or 2 days ago. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to do these 15 things that I used to have to do as the entrepreneur. No, no. What do? I focus on the vision. I focus on the team, the direction, but I don't have to organize or coordinate it or follow up. I'm like, here's the direction. Okay, good. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you want? I'm looking at what they want. And third, focus on the product roadmap. What's next? What's next? What's next? Because you roll these things out sequentially based on what's working and what's simple and what needs to come first. It will cost me a $500,000 to put this team together if I had to pay. And who does that? The top 1%. Ask any of them what their budget is for marketing and media for their content machines. Um, I can't imagine any of them it's lower than 50 grand a month, maybe 20. My lead generation company, which I'm not really involved in anymore, charges 8 to 10 grand a month just to do lead generation, sales outsourcing, prospecting, and closing support. And that's a simple business. 10 grand a month, 8 to 10. It's a pro game that even now. You want to hire some telemarketer, they're going to fail. We're pros at that and small time, but you can have $1 million, $2 million, $5 million business. And if you know, or 20 million, 30, 40, $50 million business, you can do that today with very, very low overhead, very low. If you look at a profit and loss statement, you've got, cost of goods sold, basically, cost of sales. Those expenses can fluctuate with the revenue. So there's no overhead. And then below the line, you've got operating expenses, which is called SG&A, sales general administrative expenses. You can cut them out almost completely. Back in the 90s, paying for healthcare and paying the W-2 team as overhead in a sales company, it's daunting. And then you got to make payroll every month. It's got to pay the bills, but I don't have to make payroll every month anymore. I got to pay my bills every month, but it's almost nothing. Now you scale by giving profit sharing to people, then they stay, but they need a base. Some of them do, but most don't. They need a way to make money in the ecosystem. We're going to show people how to do this for yourself. So you won't be doing this alone. It doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to be a solopreneur anymore. You can be a solopreneur with 5 partners. And I'm not talking about the old partnership models of trading leads. I'm talking about you're constructing your ecosystem and your partnerships as a cohort of product, quality product. So if you're a coach of this type, nobody wants to buy energy healing. Nobody wants to buy mindset. That's called the broke coach problem. Best in the world. People just say, well, I got to make more money first. Let's talk next month. And I'll do 2 sessions. And it's like, you got to be a sales hustler now. That's not why you got into coaching. Same with service business. Why? Look at the market you're in and say, how do we serve this market better? How do we create our product in the market? You build circles. It's a circle system. You build the circle, the kernel, the core, and then you go out and then people show up because they're like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of that. It's like designed for me. How'd they know? Because I'm not marketing to anybody. I know it's subtle. It's actually simple. And in the black swan world of after story, it will be simple to everyone in the society. I see things early, usually about 5-10 years ahead. Not because I'm so smart. It's just how my mind works. And I thought everybody's mind worked like that. That's narcissism. Where you start to realize, or it's not narcissism for entrepreneurs. It's just more autism. Somebody said, "Are you autistic or do you have Asperger's?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Of course not." Now I know I do. Why'd you say that? That was rude. What was rude? I'm just trying to explain it to them. Well, stop doing that. And that was, pretty much my wife, but also everyone else. Um, so if you're ready, claim your guest pass and join us. And